Okay.
Welcome. Jenny's going to share, and I'm just going to introduce our topic whilst Jenny's sharing. So say hi when you come in. Today's after the session, we really want to talk about what your breath, your body, and love have to do with anything. And what all of that has to do with tension and constriction, which is really, really powerful. So yeah, what are your, what are your thoughts?
Oh my goodness. Tonight's class was so amazing. Say hey if you're on so we can see who's here. Tonight's class was amazing, and there was so much energy shifting, and we were just literally talking about breath, constriction, our body, how it feels in our body, and love. And it was just like,
Wonderful.
So everybody just take a couple of deep breaths. Notice how energy shifts in your body.
Hello, Mom. Answer your phone. Side note. I called you 2 times. I need you to answer the phone. Hearts. Let the constriction of that go. So just at the beginning of this day and this time when we were talking, I just asked everyone to find constriction in your body. So find the tension and just take a deep breath in. And you may not all the way release, but it's hard. You have to think about keeping the constriction when you do that. So play with that, practice with that, and see if it feels true to you. Because our body, when we take these deep breaths in and we release them, we want to constrict, or not constrict. We want to relax and release the constriction.
Yeah. Well, for the last 2 weeks, I've been talking about divine, sacred reciprocity. This give and receive, and give and receive, and give and receive. And our breath is the perfect teacher of that. You can't just keep exhaling and giving and giving and giving. You'll have nothing left to give. You have to inhale and receive. And the body, just intuitively knows how to do that. And you can tell when you're out of alignment because of what your breath is. You're shallow, or you're holding your breath. How many times do you find yourself holding your breath? Oh, I should breathe. Okay.
I really love that. And I want to pause because I love the way that you said that. Your breath is the first time that you know. If you're holding your breath, you know you're out of alignment.
Mm-hmm.
And I never really thought about it like with those very specific words. If you're holding your breath or your breath rhythm is weird, you are out of alignment in some aspect of your life. And that's really powerful. Everyone's always wanting to know, well, how do you know you're out of alignment? How do you know you have a block? How do you know this and that? Everyone has their breath all the time. You always have your breath with you. Otherwise, you're not with us anymore. And then I guess it doesn't matter if you're in alignment.
You're somewhere else figuring that out.
We've moved on. But it is such a cool thing. It's such a simple technique to say, okay, does my breath feel good? Then I'm probably good. If my breath doesn't feel good, either you just walked upstairs, which you probably held your breath because I do that, or you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, in yoga, breath, the word for breath, Sanskrit word is pranayama, which means life force. Our breath is our life force. And our breath can't breathe in the past. It can't breathe in the future. It only breathes right now. Our mind loves to live in those other places. Our body also only exists right here and now.
Yeah.
So the breath is the fastest way back into alignment, back into body, mind, and spirit connection, that union, which yoga means union. And breath is the fastest pathway there, because the breath is always only right now. And right now is the only place you have power to be in alignment. You can't align yourself last month when you messed up, and you can't align yourself next week when something big might or might not happen. Right here.
Yeah, it's huge. And you know what's interesting? So today I was having this conversation with someone and we were talking about like tension, right? This person was talking about having tension in their back. And I said, they're not really in the energy world at all. So I was trying to keep it as like streamlined as possible. And I was like, well, your blood flows because they were talking about getting like needling done, which is sort of like acupuncture
Very
ish.
aggressive. Acupuncture.
Like, so she was getting needling done. And she was talking about how, oh, yeah, it brings blood to the area. And I'm like, blood is breath. That's how the oxygen gets places. So, something to think about. Like, breathing in is literally creating flow. I mean, Reiki is life force energy, which is the same thing as prana.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got a mosquito bite, guys. It's that time of the year, and I got a mosquito bite on my back already from in my basement. There's a mosquito in the tri-state area. It will find me. Because my blood is so full of that life force energy, baby. No, I don't really know if that's true, but
Sidebar. What is your blood type?
B negative.
B negative. Okay. I'm O negative.
I've heard that though. I have side down the rabbit hole. I have heard that there is a connection to your blood type and how susceptible you are to mosquito bites. Like they have a preference.
They do.
And
And it
apparently,
really works for all blood types because I can be a donor for everybody. So mosquitoes are like, you'll do.
oh, that's something I need to learn to accept mosquitoes,
Right.
but they come. Anywho, back to the thing. Your blood is what holds the oxygen. Your blood is what gets you in your body. And today we talked all about like in Rising, we talked all about like constriction and feeling that tension or tightness in your breath, aka in your body, knowing where that is and really saying, okay, I'm gonna release that tension. Breathing in, feeling that tension, and then as breathing out, like we did at the beginning of this video, and if you're just coming on, feeling that tension as you breathe in. And trying, you can even try to hold that tension, and it's going to be hard. You're going to have to be mindful and think about holding on to that tension. Naturally, your body, as you breathe out, wants to release and let go, which is like this beautiful, like built-in thing that's like here to help us clear energy blocks without having to be doing all this crazy energy work or anything, like just your breath.
Yeah. Well, let's connect it a little bit more to love.
Yeah.
So breath feeds the blood. Blood is from the heart, and our heart is the home of love. And this isn't the love of intimate relationships with your sacred sexual partner. This is the love of all things, all beings, this universal love, this ability to love all things, even the suffering, even the pain in my back, even this tension, because it is a part of us. And when we can connect with this breath that brings us back into our body, into this present moment, that is when we can reconnect to this essence of love. That
and then first
it's okay.
First saying, okay, I accept that I'm allowing myself to even breathe, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm accepting that I'm in the here and now, and I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with being in this space. I'm okay with being in this, and I just love that I'm here. And I love that I have this desk, and I love that I can touch it, and I love the way that it feels. So really finding that, like, I mean, I likened it to neutral because I really like being in neutral and not going for like, I want to be the happiest in the whole wide world. Like, I'm going to win $1 million and I'm going to ride a roller coaster. Like, not always needing to be at that level because that's actually passion and ecstasy. And not being in like, oh, this shit sucks. Life sucks. Everything sucks. But being in a space of like, man, it is nice to just be here and to feel, and to be in my body and to be with these people and like whatever it is, and allowing yourself to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the biggest piece of this whole breath, body, love thing is allowing yourself to feel the breath, to pause in the moment of the breath, allowing yourself to be in the body and allowing yourself to just love being where you're at versus chasing the ecstasy, chasing the passion, chasing all of that all the time.
Yeah. Or avoiding what we don't want to look at.
Yeah.
Because that constriction, that pain, that suffering, sometimes we're like, no, let's fill it with something else. What can I do? What can I busy myself with, either mentally or physically, or how can I fill myself physically with food or any addictions? Everything's okay. Everything's okay. That thing that you're really freaking out about, like, look around. The floor is not falling out from underneath you. The ceiling's not caving in. Nothing's on fire. Like, you're okay right now.
Yeah. You're okay right now. You have what you need right now, because what you need is breath and to be in your body. And it's amazing how things work out when you can get to that space of saying, I have what I need. It's almost like that, I heard someone say a long time ago, a woman who doesn't carry a purse is a very dangerous thing, because all that she needs, she has within her. And there's kind of a sense of badassery for me personally. Like, ever since I heard that, when I roll out without a bag, I'm just like, oh, I fucking got that shit. Because I got my breath, I got my body, and I will figure everything else out.
Yeah.
Because it all comes from in here.
Yeah. And we, like, we live in this beautiful, abundant universe where everything is provided. Mm-hmm. Everything you need, you have for where you're going the next step.
Yeah.
But our human mind wants to be like, well, but next week and next month and next year, and I got to get a savings account. I got to get this and I got to get that. And I got to, it's like,
bring it back in and say, okay, one step-ola. Because what if the next step leads you and now you're like, actually, I want to go over here. But like your 10-step plan had you going over here. Well, that's awkward. Now you have to like, and we're not sitting here saying don't plan. Like, that's not what we're preaching. But if you're consistently in that space of it's almost like you're running before you can even walk. Take a second and just connect with your breath. Take the pause, find your breath, find your body, and then you'll find that love for this moment, the love for the journey, really.
Yes.
If you want to think about it like that, because it's not about, I've been listening to so many, I don't know what it is about podcasts this week, but I've been listening to a lot of podcasts. And a lot of what's been coming in for me in the podcast realm is these people who have made millions of dollars and lost it. And how that really felt for them, because they talk a lot about the intention behind making all this money. And they were just trying to fill a void because they didn't want to be in their body. They're like, this is how I find love. I find it outside. I find it with all this money. And they got there and then they end up getting addicted to drugs or whatever. And they lose it. And then they're like so humbled by the whole experience that they end up rebuilding it again as they connect to what their true purpose is. And really are divinely inspired, led, and they're just like, they just need less in general. And it was like this consensus. I listened to like 3 different podcasts with different people and different podcasts, not even like the same person's podcast with 3 different people, like totally different ones. And it was just like so mind blowing to me that we're shooting for this passion of having all this money, which really just equals freedom to be who you are, which you can easily do when you connect to your breath and to your body, and stop trying to chase the ecstasy of all the money and the passion of all the money, because that's not. So yeah, I don't know, take that for what that is, but I just thought it was really interesting that kept coming in for me this week.
Yeah. Well, it is the collective fear, right? This fear of unsafety, uncertainty, unknowing. And it's a relative new fear in our evolutionary process, where it's like this, our ancient ancestors they didn't think about tomorrow. They were like, how am I going to eat today? And how am I going to survive today? So they really had to rely on this sixth sense and And their breath was one of the things that taught them, like, okay, I think there's this thing that might be in the bushes and jumping out at me. Am I going to run? Am I going to fight? Am I going to faint? But we've evolved, and we now understand this concept of tomorrow and speak next year. And with that, our fears of like, am I going to survive? Am I going to make it? Is there going to be a tiger that's going to jump out of me? And it results in this anxiety and this like short breath and tense shoulders and tight neck and and like really, I remember being in LA with Byron Katie at one of her workshops. And she was taking us through this meditation of being homeless. Mm-hmm. Are you really homeless? I mean, the earth has you. You're sitting on the earth, and the sky is above you. There might be a tree, and that's above you. Like, are you really homeless? You have a body. You've got clothes on it. Are you really homeless? And like, I mean, really think for a minute. One thing I love about Jerry is very, very grounding for me when I get in my little freak out modes. Because my Chiron is in Taurus. Apparently, he is very important for me. And
who knew?
Who knew? And so he's just like, but what's the worst that's going to happen? Like, really, what's the worst that's going to happen? Like, you're going to be okay. Like, it's going to be okay. I mean, there have been times I haven't been able to pay rent. There have been times I haven't been able to buy food. There have been times I've been able to put gas in my car. Mm-hmm. But everything was still okay. It was just my thoughts in my head freaking me out about it. And like, look where I am now. Everything's okay. Like, everything has always been okay. I've never been not okay.
Yeah.
Up here wants to tell a different story.
Up here wants to be like, we were homeless. We got ravaged by raccoons. We almost died on the lake. And there's so many stories that we tell, but we made it to here and we're okay. And okay doesn't mean we're in ecstasy. It doesn't mean that we're in the happiest moments of our life. It just means that we're okay. And that's the first step, is to allowing yourself to really evaluate and to breathe and to be in your body, because you can't change anything unless you're in your body. That's the reason we have them. You can't change anything unless you're in your body, and then you can move forward. So that's beautiful. Anyways, I'm so excited. I'm excited for readings tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
I'm excited for meditation. So share with your friends. Jenny and I will be live tomorrow at 7. Mm-hmm. And we'll do some readings and some meditation.
Yes.
I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
Hang out a bit.
Been some really beautiful readings tonight. Were just so beautiful, so powerful. I feel like I'm really expanding into this new concept of the sacred reciprocity. I've been talking about and teaching about it for almost 2 decades now, but I feel like I'm experiencing it on a like visceral level in a whole new way. And I love when it shows up in other ways. That's like, oh, this is so exciting.
I'm excited.
Just love, giving and receiving love. Just like, it's like the sacred reciprocity with trees. Like, every exhale, I'm feeding the trees, and every inhale, or the trees exhale, is feeding me. In this beautiful symbiotic relationship, I am being taken care of. I am supported. I am safe with this breath in this body. Oh, it's so good.
I love it. I love it so much. It's such an interesting, I don't want to like rabbit hole, but you're talking about the things that you've been learning and thinking of and leaning into this week. And for me, that has really been divine masculine, like really understanding. So I've been reading Masks of Masculinity. I just finished it. Masks of Masculinity. I just finished it, and I chose to read it because I was struggling with masculine energy. But I think it's very interesting, like feeling the breath, feeling your body, and feeling the movement. And that's kind of the next step of it, is like, what masks are you wearing to stop movement from happening? What masks are you wearing that are stopping you from receiving? What masks are you wearing that are stopping you from being in your body and in this moment? And And really, I mean, it kind of goes to all energy work in general. Really, all the things that we do, all the purpose that we're here for is to help you to be in your body and be in this moment, and to help you release those different masks, those different protective ego measures that you've created for yourself, stopping you from being in your body, being in your breath, being in this love space, because that's where wounding happens. So it's very interesting. I did not think that topic was going to tie in so well. But my sugar.
Yeah.
So interesting. So I'm excited for group readings tomorrow. I'm excited to see what other people are coming in with, because usually whatever Jenny and I are working on is pretty similar to what kind of comes in for other people. So I'm excited for meditation. If you're struggling with breath, body, love, probably a good idea to come to meditation tomorrow night.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah. Anywho, okay. Any other thoughts before we pop off for tonight?
Oh, I have so many, but no.
I'm like, save them, Jenny.
I don't know if you saw my Facebook post yesterday when someone asked me what I'm thinking. There's this picture of like unicorns and aliens and sacred geometry and all the things. Like, which thing?
Which thought?
I am an air sign, so it's okay. But
it's okay. Jenny's allowed to think whatever she wants to think. Okay, lovelies. We're so excited you're here for us, and we will see you tomorrow. And I hope that you find peace in your breath and in your body tonight before you go to bed. Just spend some time breathing in and breathing out. It's the most simple thing that we can do. And just find the pause before you go to bed.
So simple, so powerful.
Yeah.
It's almost like write-offable. Like, that's too easy. Can't do that. It's got to be harder than that.
You will be surprised what kind of emotions come when you breathe in and breathe out and listen to your body. If emotions do come up for you while you're doing this, ride the wave. Let them happen for you, and know that you are 100% okay.
Yeah. And love it all.
Yes.
Love it all. It's all part of the experience.
Okay, lovelies. We will see you tomorrow.
Love you.
Bye.